I have never been more scared in my life. This past Sunday, I went skydiving with 3 of my friends, and it was a wild experience. Everything that I saw leading up to the jump was basically people talking about how you don't have that stomach drop feeling. Those people are liars. I don't know what anybody else is doing or anything else. I was bamboozled. Good morning, guys. Today's the day that I'm finally going skydiving. I didn't get to sleep a whole lot because I'm going skydiving. If you're new here, my name is Liz, and I'm working through my 30 before 30 bucket list. And one of the things on that list is to do some sort of adrenaline activity like skydiving. We're gonna go big or go home, and we're going skydiving today. So come along with us and enjoy the ride. Okay, so we're on our way to go skydiving. Kenzie, how are you feeling?
Great.
Are you feeling anything?
No. I'm making myself not feel anything. Disassociated. I'll save all my emotions for the plane.
That's kind of how I feel. I kind of feel like...
Gonna get up there and be like...
Yeah, I'm trying to not think about it. I'm trying to just let it happen. I just think of it as, I'm not really skydiving. That dude is skydiving. I'm just attached to him, and he's doing all this stuff. When we have to step out on the thing or like be on the edge, I'm gonna lose my mind.
And that the plane is on fire and we don't have a choice. We have.
Ooh, I like that. I like that a lot.
Rachel, how are we feeling? Nervous. A lot of regrets.
No.
I'm excited.
I'm really proud of you.
Thanks. It's gonna be fun.
So I'm really
No.
I'm pretty pumped. I've jumped 20 or 30 times, but it's a much different experience from, 800 to 1,200 feet. So being up at 10,000 is going to be an awesome experience. Very much looking forward to it.
I'm nervous. I'm trying to not think about it too much, but I am nervous.
So how did you come to this decision that you wanted to skydive?
Right now I'm working through my 30 before 30 list, and I wanted to do some sort of adrenaline activity. And I wanted to go skydiving, but I really didn't think I was gonna make it happen. But today we're making it happen. As I'm working through this list, it's really helping me get out of my comfort zone. And this is like the furthest out of my comfort zone I've ever been. It's cool though, because I feel like I'm saying yes to a lot of things I wasn't previously saying yes to. Because I'm like, make the most out of every day, It's kind of how I feel. Well said. Something like that. You excited?
Oh, I'm so excited.
So excited.
We're getting there.
I think there was a photo bomb on that.
Good.
Came out the window.
Green shirt, little landing, and then we'll go. You got the goggles.
We're doing this!
Sit down on the floor. Push this out.
How you feeling?
Scared. Just setting in.
Yeah. What's up, Liz?
Hi.
How are you?
Scared?
Good. Welcome to Jump Georgia. First jump today?
Yes.
Excellent. Any special occasion?
Turning 30. Working on my 30 before 30.
Yeah, good. Happy birthday. It's a beautiful day. You have fun.
It is.
See you in the sky.
All right.
Sweaty.
And jumped out of a perfectly good
I can't get out of this year. But I'm here.
What
No
the
bad
heck?
feel, you did it.
I did it.
My leg was hanging off.
That was wild. Hanging out the plane
I
like
think
that.
I think I
That's the scariest part.
I think I
Yeah.
disassociated for a second there because I was like, nope. I'm still in shock. We jumped out. We were in the sky, just up there, just 10,000. It was a very surreal experience. I can't believe I paid money to traumatize myself. Once my feet were out of the plane, I freaked out. If you look at the photos or the videos leading up to the jump, you can see the progression of me slowly start to freak out more and more. Like at the very beginning, I'm like, oh, I'm terrified, I'm scared, but I'm fine. It's not until we take off that I start to panic. And when my feet were on the edge, sheer terror. We take off and they leave the door open and my foot is inches from this door and there's just nothing. I'm strapped to the guy behind me, but there's no seatbelts. There's nothing. We're just in the plane. My foot is right there. And it's wild because you just keep going up and up and up and you're like, this is it, right? This is it. Like we don't need to go any higher. We're done, right? And then they just keep going, which I guess in some ways is almost reassuring because you have more time to get everything dealt with before you hit the ground if something went wrong. But it was terrifying. Planned it all out ahead of time, what order we were going to go in based on like how we felt about things. Mackenzie's kind of a daredevil, so she felt fine going first. I wanted someone else to go first so I could see what was going on, but I didn't want to go like later on because I knew I would psych myself out too much. So I went second. Rachel went third, and then Doug went last because we knew he was going to have no issues and he was going to make sure that everybody else got off the plane with no issues. So it was the most surreal feeling. It's so weird. The best way I can describe it, to me, it almost felt like when you're sitting on the edge of the deep end of a pool, like a really, really deep, big pool, before you do the little plunge and, you know, you plunge just kind of like into nothing. You just kind of keep going. That's kind of how it felt in a way, but times 100,000. I can't even explain how crazy it was. Like it really is crazy. Like I'm just looking at the sky and like, I was just up there, just me in the sky. It was so scary. I don't know if I would do it again. I honestly don't. The second my feet were out of the plane and I was sitting on the edge there, I was like, there's no way I'm ever doing this again. No way. Hard pass. Now it would depend on the circumstances. I would maybe do it again. But at the moment, I was like, I just want my feet on the ground and I never have to do this again. I think the thing that freaked me out the most was when I was sitting on the edge, my feet are hanging out of the plane. Obviously, I'm supposed to leave the plane, right? But it felt like I was being dragged out before my instructor was ready, and that freaked me out a lot. Everything that I saw leading up to the jump was basically people talking about how you don't have that stomach drop feeling. And I was like, oh, thank God, because I hate the stomach drop feeling. You know, they say that the stomach drop feeling comes from rapid changes in acceleration. And since you're already accelerating very fast, just kind of continuing to accelerate, but in a different direction. And that there's no stomach drop feeling. Those people are liars. I had the stomach drop feeling and it kept going. And it kind of kept going until we pulled the parachute. So like a solid minute. I was so mad. I was like, this was not supposed to happen. I was not prepared for this. I probably still would have done it knowing that I would have the stomach drop feeling, but I would have at least known that it was something I should expect. I thought I was just gonna be fine and just go out of the plane. No. That's not how that went at all. If you do go skydiving, please, please, please get the video, photo, whatever package. You don't need an external person jumping out the plane with you if that's like an extra thing that they can add on. I don't think that's worth it. I think getting photos and video is so worth it. It is not an attractive experience. Let me just tell you that. Like, you are not here to look good at all. You are going through the sky at 120 something miles an hour. You're not going to be looking good. Let's be so for real right now. But the faces that you make are so funny. Just for the photos alone, I would say it's worth it. We were dying watching our videos and just seeing how stupid we look. Your face is being blown back. You have all this pressure on your chest because you're falling so fast and like you can barely breathe and it is so uncomfortable. This is not the time to be looking good. I will tell you that right now. These people who have these like really photogenic skydiving photos, you might get that for like a split second, maybe. But the rest of it is you look ridiculous. They're so funny. I mean, like, you're falling so fast, your face is all like blown back and the air is like blowing up your nose, so your nose is all like deformed and your cheeks are like flapping back and everything, and it's just so funny. And then also you're like freaking out because you're free falling through the air, so it's like kind of panic. Don't expect to look good. Expect to laugh at how you look. If you want to laugh at yourself, this is the way to do it. It's quite humbling, I will give you that. You're free falling for like a solid minute, which doesn't sound like a lot. When you're falling, a minute is a long time. You're just going, and I was never afraid that something was going to go wrong. That wasn't the thing. I was just kind of like, all right, I want this part to be over. I'm good. I'm done. This is really uncomfortable. This hurts. This is scary. I would like to go a little slower now, please. And once they pull the parachute, you can see me just like finally start to catch my breath. Because like all that pressure on your chest, it is so hard to breathe. So that's another reason why the photos look like that. It is hilarious. You can see as we go along that I am just slowly calming down. You go from progression of me being in the plane, jumping out, free falling. And then once I hit the ground, once I am on land again, I am just so overjoyed. The photo of me, like I think I'm like holding my chest and I'm just like, I have never seen a happier photo of myself. I am like, sweet land, I will never take you for granted again. It is so great to have my feet on solid ground. I was so happy. After we got back, we were still in so much shock. Just the adrenaline is so high when you get back. One of my friends got sick after we got back, but the skydiving place was really great. They were really sweet, super helpful. They brought us popsicles, which was really sweet. That was such a nice touch because it was so stinking hot. Then we get in the car to go to lunch and everybody's just so like tired. Like we are exhausted. And the lady told us like to expect that. Like you're going to be really tired because your adrenaline is so high and then it like drops. Super weird experience. I don't know if everybody should try it, but I think it's really good for getting you out of your comfort zone. I think it was really good to push myself to such an extreme level and do it and know that I can do that. I can do hard things. That was one of the hardest things that I've ever had to do in a lot of ways. What's interesting to me is that throughout the process, you see me start to panic in the plane. As the time gets closer, I am panicking. I am freaking out. There was never a moment in that process where I was like, how do I get out of this? I don't want to do this anymore. Get me out of here. Get me off this plane. There was never a moment where I wanted to back out. Looking back on it, I think that's kind of cool because it would have been really easy to, just be like, this was a really nice plane ride. I'm going to ride with the pilot back down. I will not be jumping out of this plane. That would have been so easy. But there was no part of me at any point that was like, I'm not doing this. I had committed to it and it was just more of a let's get this over with than I don't want to do this. There were points where I didn't want to do it. I was scared, but I did it anyway. And I think that translates a lot into a lot of areas of your life. And I think it's just a good lesson overall and proves to yourself that you can do really hard things. You can do something that is crazy and you know it's crazy, but you do it anyway. That is such a wild feeling to me. And it's so interesting because like I've talked to a lot of people since I did it and they're like, I could never do that. I wish I was more like you. Like I can't do those type of things and da. And what's so wild to me is the realization that there's not really a difference between the people who do all of this crazy stuff and the people who are like, oh no, I'm too scared. I could never do that. The only difference is the people who do the stuff just do it. It doesn't mean that they're any less scared than the people who are like, oh, I'm not doing that. They might be more scared, but you commit to the thing that you're doing and you do it scared. And that has been such a big theme in my life lately of like, I'm scared. I'm terrified. I'm so scared of what is coming next because it's big, it's scary, it's intense. It's going to be a lot. It's not going to be easy, but I know that it's going to be worth it. And also I've had to tell myself to do it scared. Like I'm scared, but I'm going to just do it scared. And being scared is okay. And being scared doesn't have to hold you back from things. You can be scared and still do the thing. And honestly, when you do that, you are just proving to yourself that you are capable of doing hard things. I feel like that sounds kind of weird, but your anxiety tries to tell you all of the things that could go wrong, all the reasons why you should just stop and not do the thing that you want to do. Because this can happen and that can happen and like, what are these people going to say and all of these things, but you do it anyway. And along the way, you realize every time you have that fear in you and you do it anyway, and you realize you can do the thing and that fear isn't going to stop you. And once you realize that, like you are kind of unstoppable. Use your brain. Don't just be trying to do all kinds of crazy stuff. Use your brain, but understand that you have the power to do all of these amazing things. You have that potential inside of you. All the things that you need to be this person that you want to be, that you wish you could be, all of that already lives within you. That sounds so cliche and lame and whatever, but it's true. All that is already in you. You just have to nurture that side of yourself. So yeah, that was my skydiving experience. That definitely made the 30 before 30 list feel really real, because I think that's the craziest thing on the list. Nothing else really matters on the list now at this point. I mean, it does, but it's just like, I did that. That's cooler than any of the other things I could possibly do. Like, I had peaked in that department. So it was really cool getting to do something that big off of the list. There are a few things I'm still doing in the near future that are on the list. I've tried to go to Providence Canyon like 4 times now, and it has not worked out for me. So I'm really hoping that this next time is going to work out. And maybe there's a reason why it didn't work out all the other times, because the way that I'm probably going to end up doing it is a little different than I would have done it if I had done it any of these other times. All these other times, I would have been car camping, which is fine and cool, and I love that. But this way will be better. If everything works out how it's supposed to, this way is going to be a lot better. So stay tuned for that. I'm really excited to do all the other things on the list that I'm able to. I know a lot of them I'm going to be knocking out on my birthday trip. I think the unplugged day is going to be on my trip. That's going to be really interesting. I think that is going to be the most interesting one to me, and potentially the most revealing to myself. But doing that, going on a big solo trip by myself. So that's going to be really cool. I want to definitely make my cookbook. We'll see how far I can get with that. But doing all of these things, it's changed my perspective on life so much. And it's really cool because I feel like when I am older, I'm able to look back at this time in my life and say, I did all these really cool things that I wanted to do. And instead of just saying, oh, I would love to do that, that seems cool, and then just continue to do my regular day in and day out, I'm actually doing these things that I've always wanted to do. And I feel like when I get to the end of my life, whenever that is, I'm going to be able to look back and say, you know, I did all the cool things. I did all these awesome things that I wanted to do. I don't have any regrets. That's what I want for myself. So I think this has been a really good step in that direction. So join me next time for my next 30 before 30 bucket list item. It probably won't be as exciting as skydiving, but hopefully you'll continue to watch and continue to follow along my journey of my 30 before 30 list and also my other travel adventures. So thanks for watching. Comment, like, subscribe. Have a lovely day.
Made it. How are we feeling?
I just threw up.
Doug, how are we feeling?
Fantastic. Ready to go again.
And sometimes you look like an idiot, and like it's like half your
It's in there,
She's
right?
in there, yeah.
Okay.
She's in there.
All right.
There's cup. They flash their lights. Where? I don't know. They
Is this
flash
thing
their-
going?
Yeah, but I don't know if it's pointed at you.
Nail. You'll be like a little kid. I froze up.
I froed up.
3 a.m. in the bedroom.
I froed up. We about to go get some margaritas though.
And really put yourself to sleep. I'm gonna get home to Ray's house.
Dude, we're gonna go get Mexican and margaritas after skydiving and be like, we're gonna go honk some, what is it? Honk some shoes. These shoes ain't gonna honk themselves.
Smack pillow. Just tell your bros you're going to sleep. Like smack pillow.
What was the snork me thing? These me's aren't gonna snork themselves. I don't even remember.
No, it's
I don't know. I could snork some me's right now though.
Right.
shaky.
What just happened? What just happened? We were in a plane and then we were just in the air.
Hearing everyone's interviews just made me a little bit more nervous. Maybe we should.
Do you feel like you're on a reality show now?
Yes.
The real life. Good.
We're good.